In a vast forest, where ancient trees stretched their branches toward the heavens, a tiny bird lived among the emerald leaves. Its feathers shimmered with hues of dawn, and its heart thrummed with a quiet joy for life. Each morning it greeted the sunrise with a flutter of wings, soaring through the canopy, chasing beams of light that pierced the foliage. The bird found wonder in the smallest moments: the rustle of leaves in the breeze, the sparkle of dew on a spider's web, the fleeting dance of a butterfly. To preserve these experiences, it developed a peculiar habit. It would find small, smooth stones scattered across the forest floor, and with delicate precision, etch its daily joys and sorrows onto their surfaces. A scratch for a moment of laughter, a deeper mark for a pang of sadness. Each stone was then tucked into a woven sack it carried, tied gently around its body. At first, this ritual filled the bird with a sense of purpose. The stones were tokens of a life fully lived, each one a testament to moments that shaped its existence. The weight of the sack was light in those early days, barely noticeable as it flitted from branch to branch. It would pause to admire its collection, running its beak over the etched patterns, reliving the warmth of a sunny afternoon or the ache of a lonely evening. The act of recording brought comfort, a way to hold on to the fleeting beauty of the world. The bird felt grounded, connected to its own story, as if the stones tethered it to something eternal. But as days turned to weeks and weeks to months, the sack grew heavier. The bird, driven by an unyielding need to capture every moment, filled it with more stones. Each new experience demanded its own marker, and the bird could not bear to leave any behind. The sack, once a source of pride, began to pull at its wings. Flights that once carried it to the highest branches now left it breathless. The open sky, once a playground of freedom, became a distant dream. The bird's journeys grew shorter, its wings strained under the burden. It no longer danced with the wind or chased the horizon. Instead, it perched lower, wings trembling, heart heavy with the weight of its own memories. One twilight, as the forest glowed with the soft amber of dusk, the bird encountered an old owl perched on a gnarled branch. The owl's eyes gleamed with a quiet wisdom, its feathers weathered by countless seasons. It watched the bird struggle to land, the sack dragging behind like an anchor. The owl tilted its head, observing the tiny creature's labored breaths. Without words, it seemed to understand the bird's plight. Its gaze lingered on the sack, heavy with stones, and then met the bird's weary eyes. In that silent exchange, the owl offered a gentle truth. The past, though precious, was not meant to be carried as a burden. It was a teacher, not a chain. The stones, etched with moments of joy and pain, were lessons to guide the present, not relics to cling to forever. The bird, however, could not let go. The stones were its life, its identity. To release them felt like erasing the moments that defined it. It turned away from the owl, clutching the sack tighter, and continued its heavy flight. The forest, once a place of wonder, now felt oppressive. The bird's wings ached with every beat, its body sinking lower with each passing day. It no longer noticed the beauty of the sunrise or the melody of the wind. All its energy was spent carrying the weight of its past, a weight that grew with every new stone added to the collection. One evening, as storm clouds gathered and the sky roared with thunder, the bird set out to find shelter. Rain poured in relentless sheets, soaking its feathers and making the sack even heavier. The wind howled, tugging at the bird's fragile frame. It fought to rise above the treetops, to reach the safety of a high perch, but the sack pulled it downward. The stones, once symbols of a vibrant life, now dragged it toward the earth. Exhausted, the bird faltered. Its wings gave out, and it plummeted through the storm, the sack unyielding in its grip. When the rain finally ceased and the forest grew still, the bird lay motionless on the sodden ground, its tiny body cradled by the very stones it had carried so faithfully. The forest continued its eternal rhythm. Leaves fell, seasons turned, and new creatures filled the air with song. The owl, perched high above, watched the world unfold. It had seen many lives come and go, each carrying its own burdens. The little bird's story lingered in the quiet corners of the forest, a silent lesson etched not in stone, but in the fleeting beauty of the present. The past, it whispered, is a guide, not a cage. Memories, whether radiant or painful, are meant to shape the soul, not weigh it down. To live fully is to let go, to release the stones that tether the heart, and to soar unburdened into the vastness of now. The bird's sack remained where it fell, a small mound of stones scattered among the roots. Over time, moss crept over them, softening their edges, blending them into the earth. They became part of the forest, no longer a burden but a quiet testament to a life once lived. And above, the sky stretched wide and open, waiting for those who dared to fly with wings unencumbered, hearts light and spirits free. The lesson was clear, woven into the fabric of the forest itself. To hold on to the past too tightly is to sacrifice the present. Life demands movement, a willingness to release what no longer serves the journey. The bird, in its devotion to its stones, had forgotten the joy of flight, the freedom of an unburdened heart. But its story, carried on the wind, whispered to all who would listen, "Let go, live now, and rise toward the boundless sky."